What's up, traders? It's Richard here with LEWA. Welcome back for another Elliott Wave technical analysis dose. Today I'm going to focus on WTI, crude oil West Texas Intermediate, because I'm getting the sense that it's breaching maybe on the downside, and I just want to show you a couple of things on WTI moving forward, and with this whole fundamentals, OPEC meetings and stuff like that, getting you guys ready for this week and next week, but also for the next trend. That's the main purpose of this video, of these videos, right? So after that, we're gonna update the views on metals a little bit. Okay, we're taking a look at gold and silver, but also a glimpse on the euro dollar because it was so good to us in the green room. Okay. Now, before we get started, I'd like to let you know that I've posted freshly posted yesterday. I've posted some entry points, some buy-sell orders for um, euro dollar, pound dollar, dollars, dollar yen, dollar Swiss, Aussie dollar, so Aussie, the Kiwi as well, okay, and the USD CAD. So you might want to check them out right there under the signals and orders section right here, okay? So that about covers it. So let's just jump on WTI on the daily time frame right here, because not only that, let's say after the fall, this kind of moved in a corrective stance right here, okay, just the way it did before, okay, with this type of structure right here, similar to that, it actually moved right there. So this I'm labeling basically the rise in an A wave. Why? Because this has basically this ending diagonal has completed the structure right there, so I am labeling as a cycle degree W, and then the correction ABC with a C leg right there in October when the VIX spiked, when I actually let everyone know that the VIX is spiking and I was expecting the indices and crude oil to actually crash, and they did. So right after that, okay, after this bullish divergence right about there, then market reversed, and I've been tracking this all the way up top, and I've been calling the tops but also the breach for the downside. Okay, so with the daily wave counts and stuff like that, I mean, you guys can actually see them right there on the side. So the way I'm seeing this A wave, and then this, I don't think it's the entire B, because we have an A, B, C right here, but the way this is moving on the upside kind of looks like a free, an interruption typical for the wave X. Okay, so we have a free wave sequence right here, but also a free wave sequence so far. So notice that this daily candle right here is kind of sitting, I mean, wants to retest some very significant levels. We have some fibs here, we have some fibs here, here, everywhere. Okay, so if you're a harmonics guy, then you would actually recognize this particular pattern as well. Okay, now let's just shrink it down. So this was the daily time frame. Let's just go on the 4-hour time frame. And what I'm noticing right about here, okay, right about here, I'm actually noticing a potential breach. So this could actually be the start of the Y that I'm actually expecting. This could go quite deep, okay, because I'm also expecting possibly the VIX to spike once more, and the indices to complete a very sophisticated corrective pattern, but still a leg on the downside. So I'm gonna go on the indices. I'm just waiting for that, and I'm gonna feed you guys continuously with this type of views. So the way I'm labeling, even from the top, right? We have here an A wave, then a complex, basically a flat here in the middle for this minute degree wave B. So this makes a minor degree B wave correction. Okay, so basically we have minor A red, then minor B red. So far so good. Then we have first wave on the downside, expanding flat right here in this second wave, minute red, then wave 3, the sell-off, and the triangle in the fourth wave, and basically we have a 5-wave sequence. Okay, now the way this is going on the upside, it goes in an A, then B, and the C wave, 1, 2, and the extension 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we have 3. Then we have a flat 4. Then we have a fifth leg. So notice basically that it has entered, retested this previous support, the breach actually, right? So in my opinion, this is bearish. In my personal opinion, would be bearish, and this was the wave 1, this was the wave 2. So how to trade this? Well, stop loss, in my personal opinion, can be placed either here or for extra security. Depends on your risk appetite, of course, right about there. Okay. Not sure if it's even going to provide now a corrective pattern, but I have been explaining this today in the to my members. Okay, so this is actually panning out nicely, and I think that the OPEC meeting could be or is already bearish. Okay, so that's enough for the crude oil. Watch out for this potential fall, guys, because this will actually align multiple things, and this is basically um, a trend change. So keep an eye out. Let's just continue with the metals. Okay. So updating the gold chart, basically on the daily time frame. If you haven't, if you want to catch up with me, then it might be a good idea to watch the previous video that I did on the metals, because that will actually clear everything up on these fractals that I have been using. So right here and how I've been able to catch this entire trend, yeah, and also be basically also here and everywhere, right? And even basically preparing and shooting for the upside and so on. But how am I seeing this? Okay, well, I'm actually using this swing to compare it with this swing, because this fractal is actually this fractal on a smaller scale. Okay, so it's reoccurring. The pattern has been reoccurring, and right now I'm just waiting for this. So I've cloned this right here. Okay, and I'm actually inclining to use them. Okay, so far I do have the correction that I wanted, which is basically symbolizes this one. Okay, so far I do have that. The question is it complete? Well, we'll need to zoom in a little bit, but it could be complete, and this means that gold could be basically shooting on the upside once more for this to continue. Okay, so given that said, let's just continue with gold on the 2-hour time frame. And what this actually tells me is that there might be, doesn't have to, but if it breaks out, of course, it doesn't have to go a bit on the downside. But I would be satisfied with another move on the downside, so we can actually potentially gain support on this trend line. Obviously, if it breaches this trend line, then something changes. But I don't believe that it will. Okay. So how am I labeling this? This corrective structure is in an A, then an expanding flat right here in this B, and a 5-wave sequence, 1, 2, 3, potential triangle right here in the 4, and the last dip for the 5th leg. So this makes an ABC correction for this. As you can actually see, it kind of the law of alternation kind of works here. We have an expanding flat right here, and then we do have a regular flat right here. So far so good. I'm fine with it. It should actually gain support. That's what I'm saying. Well, basically to keep it simple, I think gold has more upside. Okay, and this next wave could actually be quite impressive. The only thing needed would be a proper bullish divergence right here at the end of the 5th wave, and obviously to synchronize with the support right here from this trend line for the 4th wave. All right, so let's move on. Now, moving on towards the silver on the uh, daily time frame. Silver structure is a little bit more complicated than that, okay? Regardless of the fact if this X ended here or if it's even gonna end here, okay? Because it's a primary degree, it can actually extend it in its complexity and so on. Or regardless if I would have to label this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a basically some sort of leading diagonal in a large degree A wave. So I will move this A right here, okay? And this to be an A, then potential triangle right here in the B, and then 1, 2, 3 Yeah, I know. 4 and then 5 and then basically we have a complete structure right there. Okay, but also then we'll have a complete structure right here. Okay, so in a sense like this. You follow me? Okay, so basically everything is actually pointing towards the fact that silver might just have more upside, just like gold does. Okay, so let's move on to silver on the 2-hour time frame. Now I've noticed the fact that this could be actually a triangle. That's in a different type of pattern. But if I would try to label this as a 1, then expanding flat right here, then you know, it doesn't really fit right here because this has ended, basically this has developed in a complex way. So I think I'm gonna basically modify this in an A, B, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you do have wave counts, guys, send them my way. Or if you have any questions, then in the description down there, um, I would take any comments and reply to them. I always do. Okay, by the way, if you do like this video, give your boy a thumbs up. Yep. Okay, now there are some big waves coming. And really, we have to be ready for them. I believe that the dollar could be softening, and as I said, there are some big waves coming. So, how am I labeling this? Regardless of what this is a corrective pattern in my personal opinion, and it's gonna end quite soon. Okay. Um, all I need is basically a 5-wave sequence right here, and then this silver could go bullish. All right. The reason why I'm saying that is because, and this is the Easter egg. Let's just continue right about here with the euro dollar, because once the euro dollar actually finalizes this last fifth leg, so we have basically wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the fifth leg. Well, it would also finalize the structure A, B, C. Okay, but if it does this, then regardless of the, I mean, if this is a larger degree diagonal, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or an ABC or whatever. Okay, still this leg up has to occur. Okay, the only thing that would throw it off is basically a breach right here, a very big one, right? Or obviously something lower than this, because in a diagonal it doesn't have to go lower than that point. Okay, so that's the only invalidation. Now, how I've been able to track this, obviously I've been tracking this the euro dollar even from the way back right there. Okay, with some other orders, and it took some time before, I mean, the market was quite dodgy, I would say. But right here, posted some levels in the green room right here, and basically this view on the upside, it went up, stop loss at break even, all good and so far. And then I posted some more right about here on the precaution measure, basically for the C leg after this correction. I mean, while this correction was actually unfolding. Okay, so basically right here what we did is going long and then going short, and now I'm actually inclining to go long once more, and I would be very satisfied if this would be a proper impulse and not a diagonal. I mean, in a sense that I would be looking for a very I mean a very strong and sustained impulse, bullish move, bullish swing. Okay, now I suppose that's about it for today. Right now, I'm gonna go to the beach and catch some waves with my son, literally. Until next time, as I like to say to all my traders, stay in the green and many pips ahead. Bye for now, y'all.